What happens when you put a career-focused woman with 2 kids trying to balance home and work life in a room with a microphone? Lots of laughter, tears, and great advice. Welcome to 2 Kids and a Career. She's back. I am talking about Jamie Case, Executive Director, Gateway Pet Guardians. She's going to be here for quite a few episodes. We have lots of stuff to talk about.
Yay.
Usually I get an idea of what I want to talk about and I tell my guests, and Jamie has no idea what we're going to talk about today.
Not a clue.
Jamie, I have something I want to talk to you about, but I'm not going to tell you what it's about because I want it to be organic and so totally real. Which these conversations are, but usually, like I said, we have somewhat of a combo about what we're going to talk about. So, are you ready?
I think so.
Being the executive director at Gateway Pet Guardians, obviously you're an animal lover.
Yes.
And I am struggling with, and it seems silly, but I am actually really struggling with, am I really an animal lover like I say I am? Apple was our baby.
Yep.
And all the sayings are true. She's not our baby anymore.
Nope.
And again, I guess this goes back to comparing yourself to people on social media. I mean, but I do see people like you that it doesn't seem like you have that issue when you post. Like your dogs are still as much in it as they were before. And the reason I bring this all up is a lot of people around here make fun of me because they're like, we don't ever hear about Apple. And Apple is our bulldog. And they said, we haven't seen a picture of her in forever. And I go, oh my gosh, you're right. I was looking back at social media. Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it happens. And it's not, yep. Yes.
Really?
That's all I have to say is yes. I mean, and dogs are a very vital part of my life outside of my family, right? Like this is what I do for a living. But you have to make that shift in some. Mine were my babies too, and they're still my babies, but they definitely take a back seat.
Really?
They take a second seat. Absolutely. I mean, I can't tell you how much time my dogs spend outside. Now they love it, and our door is just like open in our house, and they get to come in and out, and they live the best life. But the kids are priority, and you know it's funny when we're in this place right now in animal welfare where. We're solving a really big issue, a really big societal issue. And one of the pieces of that is how animals end up in shelters, and for a variety of reasons, kids, moving, housing issues, allergy, all those normal things that you hear. When, people that don't have children, it's easy for them to say, I would never get rid of my dog because of my children. We can't judge people for that. If you don't feel like your child is safe or the issue of like, I'm not giving my dog enough time. Kids suck the life out of you. And you don't give your dogs enough time. And we have 2 young dogs. We adopted a lab mix. So we had 2 older dogs. One was just passed away recently. He was 15. He was our original baby. And let me tell you, that first one, when they pass away, is the worst thing ever. And then we had we have a pit bull mix that's 10 now. And then we adopted a puppy. Our pit bull and our older dog didn't really want anything to do with our kids. They could care less. They, coexist with them basically, but they're calmer. Mm-hmm. So then we decided we needed a puppy for our kids. Just like everyone else does, like I need a puppy. I want my kids to have a puppy. And our puppy was great, but they have energy. And we have a hard time fostering sometimes with our pit bull. She can be sassy. Mm-hmm. She's in charge of the household.
Oh,
put it that way. So the puppy needed a friend. And so we adopted another young dog. And I will tell you, like, if we didn't, I would feel really terrible because he needs energy and attention and love. And, at the end of the day, it's all you can do to give energy, some sort of energy to your husband, no less your animals, especially with 2 kids.
And I'm so glad I reached out to you to talk to you about this because you are the expert, in my opinion, and I think many people's opinion, because you work for,
Yeah.
you're the executive director at Gateway Pet Guardians. So I really was struggling, and I knew I needed to talk to you because I don't think I'm the only mom out there that feels that way. And it's so hard because, you know, people, they wouldn't make fun of us to our face with Apple, but I know that they were like, oh my God, she's just a dog. And now I think they're saying, now you get it.
Yeah.
Because I do remember somebody told me, I think it was my cousin, she was the same way about her dog. And I said, well, is it really true? She goes, about the way you are with your dog once you have kids. She goes, I'll just tell you, it's different.
It is different.
You still love them, but it's different. And I see that now. Like,
we go to dog events, and now we have, again, our 2 younger dogs, our social dogs. Again, we had an older dog, and we have a pit bull who is a pitty mix thing that is dog selective. So she can't go to the pet parade with us, and she can't go to the strut your mutt walk, and she can't go to all these dog things. Mm-hmm. And our older dog was getting too old to go to them. He just didn't have it in him anymore. So we would go to dog events with no dog. And you felt bad, like people were like, oh, there's the executive director. She now has kids, so she doesn't bring her dogs anywhere. But it was really just a matter of we didn't have the right dogs. Now we do. But let me tell you, it is a hassle.
Right.
To take a dog that's crazy and young and 2 kids, you know? I mean, it's different. Your life changes in many ways for the better. And I think that my kids are enriched because of the dogs. And I think my dogs are enriched because of the kids.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a balance. I mean, again, you have to think that we could have the same conversation about our husbands, correct?
Yes. Yes. But I guess what messes me up in my head is I have said I'm such an animal lover, and
you don't, that doesn't go away. You are an animal lover.
But I joke around with Brian a lot, like, Apple's going to live till she's 20. Like, that's what's going to happen. And we have both said when she passes, and we don't, you know, obviously that's going to be hard. We need to take a break from dogs. And that makes me feel like I'm not an animal lover.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. I think, how old is she now?
Apple? Mm-hmm. We're thinking 9 or 10.
Okay. So at that point, you're going to have a 12-year-old and you may think totally different at that point in time. If she lives to be 20, let's say. Oh,
I was like, what are you
have a 12-year-old.
Math are you doing? I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you're like, but it may be more chaotic than it is right now. You know, I struggle. You know, Ella is in T-ball, and there's all these camps, and there's every sport, and they're all $1 billion. First of all, it's a whole side conversation.
Oh yeah, because we've already said they're hermits. We're not paying. We're not doing anything.
But
this
it's like,
not true.
I want her to do all those things, but it's so expensive
and time sucking. But anyway, yeah,
and exactly. So you know, running a nonprofit. Our volunteers work during the day. So I have a lot of evening and weekend engagements. And I feel like the worst mom. On our T-ball team is a friend of mine that I went to high school and college with. And he's telling me things about our T-ball team. And I'm like, I don't know. Oh. I don't know. And he's like, you don't know anything. I was like, I know Sean's in charge of everything. Like, you feel bad. There's so many things pull you in so many directions that it's just hard, in my opinion, to give anything the amount of attention. I was just thinking that on the way here.
Really?
I feel so stretched with our kids and Gateway and the move and, you know, saving the world on the east side and having a relationship with my husband. And, you know, I feel like nothing gets the attention that it needs anymore. My dogs, you know, all of the things.
And that just came to me the other day. And we keep joking around all these different side conversations that we are going to have in future episodes. And one of them is therapy. And so I go to a therapist, and we'll talk about that in a future episode because not enough people go. But anyway, I told her, I said, I am feeling very frantic as far as work is really busy and home is really busy and there's no calm time for me. And that's
exactly it. There's no time for yourself either.
Right.
Like, notice I didn't even talk about myself in any of that conversation.
And she did say, she was like, when I'm not feeling like I'm in control at work, it makes it even worse because she goes, right now, you can't be in control at home with the little ones because there is crazy times happening. Like they can't change their butts, right? Or,
Right,
you know what I
exactly.
mean? Like, so you are on their schedule and you don't have a lot of time for yourself. And so that's the other thing. Like, when am I going to have time for Apple? Like last night I did on the bed. I said, I got to devote 2 minutes to her.
Yeah.
And that sounds so rude, but 2 minutes, it's just been on my mind a lot lately. Like, this has happened. I've become that person. That
At the end of the day, the end of the day is usually my time with the dogs. Like if I'm on the couch, that's my time to dedicate to them. To, you know, if Sean and I are watching a show or whatever it may be in the evening, that's the time when I try to give them the attention that they need in the evening. And I've been taking our 2 younger ones on occasion to the new shelter with me because there's no dogs there right now, so they can kind of run around, have the run of the place, and they feel like they're getting out of the house and they're excited, and so that makes me happy. But like I just try to fit. I think I mentioned in the last time we talked was like work-life Jenga.
Yep.
Like it's not a balance. It's a piecing together all the pieces app until you can put it all together and hope for the best.
And I know there's someone listening that there aren't animal people out there. I get it. They're not.
Sure.
I get it. And they're thinking, I cannot believe this is a conversation that they're having. But I believe there are probably more
absolutely
animal lovers in the same situation that have felt this way. And I don't know. I know that it's been a struggle for me. And then I go, okay, well, wait. We are giving this dog an amazing life.
Absolutely.
Who, what she had before
absolutely
we rescued her was not great.
Yep.
And then I go, oh, but then she's like, but wait, I was even more cuddled. And
has her behavior changed at all?
No, she's a diva and sassy and no, not really. I mean,
then I wouldn't worry about it.
I think she has been so great with the girls. I mean, she tolerates so much, and you know, the different things that are. It's a love-hate relationship too between her and the oldest, because some days Lou wants to be all about her, and other days she's yelling at her, and
I know I do feel bad because we're a loud family. We yell and we not in a bad way. We're just loud, and our 2 young dogs are a dopey lab mix that's giant, who I'm convinced has Great Dane in him, and an American Bulldog, which is huge and even dopier than the first one.
Oh, yeah, because we have the English Bulldog. We know exactly.
I mean, just tail in the eyes and knocking over and stealing all the food. And like, so the dogs get yelled at a lot.
Yes.
Get off the counters, get off the kid, you know, and then I hear Ella yelling at them.
Yes.
I always feel bad. Like, and the kid Ella loves cats. And I'm thinking, did we do that to her? Because we have these really unruly, you know, badly behaved dogs that are like jumping all over them. And, you know,
Please do the same. I'm like, get back, Apple. And so finally, and Lou will scream, get back, Apple.
Yep.
Like, okay, say please. You just got to say please. At least say please. Like, that's all I can do.
I know. It's just life.
Okay.
It really is just life. And again, you know, we're trying to solve this issue of homelessness and animals, and surrendering because of a baby is one of the reasons, right? And I think that is something that you do need to reflect on. Is it's worse to surrender that animal. You know, as much as you feel like you're not giving that animal what she deserves, you're her family. She loves you. She's bonded to you. She knows this is a weird time in life. Like when kids come into your family, we had a dog one time that was snippy, and he was a big dog, and we were really worried about having kids, and he was a foster dog, and the vet said, you know, these dogs are pack animals. That baby comes in as a baby, a newborn, and the dog learns that they're a part of the pack and a part of the family, and everybody grows together. So, you know, your dog is she's just a part of the pack, and she sees the chaos that's going on. She finds her place in all of that. So I wouldn't worry that a different life for her would be harder than what you're living right now, or what you feel like. Dogs are so resilient to so many things that I wouldn't put too much worry in that. And again, she's 9, she's slowing down. She doesn't need the walks and the all of those, the ball in the backyard and all of those things. They slow down after a while. I'm sure she's at that point. So just that, I think those little bits of love and attention that you can, the 2 minutes or whatever you can do, then it'll come back. How old are your kids? 2
and a half, and 5 months.
Yeah. Girl, I couldn't do it. The 3-year difference is a lot. And I've always thought, like, I couldn't imagine them being any closer together. 2s are hard. 3s are terrible. I'm sorry. And I mean, even at 5, now Ella's 5 and she can argue with you and oh my God, it's the arguments and the oh God, she's trying to constantly manipulate it. I mean, not constantly, I'll give you 1. And I'm like, 2, 1. They're just like the negotiating, and now they're smarter and they're using big words, and you're like, what happened? How do we lose control of life?
Oh man.
So it's gonna be harder before it gets easier, but as long as Apple will be there and she'll be just tagging along, and all will be better. I will say Charlie being 2.5 makes it feels better. A life feels more normal. I feel like you're not constantly on top of them, right? Like you probably feel that way with Lou. Like they're more independent. They can go pick up something or go put their shoes on, or all those things.
Okay. I feel better. I do.
The 2.5-year-old and the 5-month-old, I think, are where more of the chaotic feeling comes in, and the out of controlness.
So I'm still an animal lover.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you for joining me for today's episode. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and if you're feeling really generous, write me a review. And don't forget to join me next week for a new episode of 2 Kids and a Career.